So this is going to be a VOD review of Dplus Kia versus Hanwha Life Esports. And then what we're going to do after that is we're going to go to T1 versus Hanwha Life Esports, because I haven't watched much Hanwha Life, or at least haven't VOD reviewed much Hanwha Life. So what I wanted to do is use this series against what we have seen to be a pretty good team as a way to look back at how well T1 played against them, because we're kind of benchmarking, right? We've seen a lot of T1 games. We know what they play like, and we know what the champions they pick are. But I want to see if they're just like turbo stomping a bad team, or if they're actually playing against a good team. And I know that Hanwha Life won this series, so I'm very interested to see how they go about winning this. So yeah, let me just check that my pen's working on screen as well. I don't think it is just yet. Yeah, there we go. Let's have a look, see. Okay, cool. I can draw on the screen as well now. Lovely. Okay, let's get into it. So,
still available for now.
This is 14.1, so we're not at, again, yeah, so LCK hasn't played on 14.2 yet. So that's an important context to have as part of this.
Really a big fan of that ban.
And I believe Zeka has not played a Kali yet. No, Jonas.
Wouldn't expect Kingen to actually be that guy at this moment in time, as the Rel is taken away from Lucid. That's the other pick you mentioned next to the Vi, where he has found a lot of success.
See if there's anything we can take from these first bans.
Unless, you know, if you're planning on picking it, you definitely don't want to. Be the Milio, actually, though, so kind of weakening the Aphelios while also saying, I'm probably not going to play Lucian, you're probably not playing Lucian either.
You're probably still, well, you could still go for like Lucian Nami if you do first pick a Lucian in this case, but there's so much to ban. I mean, the Corki's there, the Oriana's there, you could have...
So, Senna is available, and Senna messed up a lot of drafts. One of the things that we did yesterday was look at a lot of Senna drafts from T1 and OK Brion. A lot of people are banning out the Corki because LCK Corki has been better than other regions, and it feels like an insta-win condition unless you have Oriana to shut them down in lane. And sometimes you don't want to buy into that matchup, so that's kind of annoying. Azir's available, Senna's available, Lucian's available. Okay, it's the first pick Senna, so this opens up a lot of weird shit on bot side, as we've talked about. You can do Senna, Tahm Kench. LCK has done Senna plus other tanks, which can lane and work, do quite well. But if you're going towards the Senna, Tahm Kench, you can go towards something like the Varus lanes, which are better at anti-tank. Okay, so you're locking in the Vi. Why? I know it's Peanut's Vi, but now, don't you just slam in a Maokai here for Dplus Kia? And then you have a Vi that will likely go into something like a Tahm Kench, which means that the Tahm Kench can save the person who's getting Vi ulted. And then you have a Maokai to deal with anyone else chasing after the Vi to follow up on the engage, or the Lucian as he goes forward. Okay, they go for Dplus instead. Great, that's different. Thanks for the follow, Stoicera.
And I wrote in the Nami on my sheet before I wrote in the Aatrox, because you're going Lucian Nami, right? The R8 would be very confusing.
And Kingen blind locks the Aatrox as well. I would have gone for a Maokai, man. Maokai feels so much more effective here. Hey, Sinatadin, how's it going? Thanks for the follow, I appreciate it. I recognize that name.
Still a lot of jungle picks that you could go for.
Yes, they ban on the Maokai, obviously. But why are you... Why are you blind blocking in the Aatrox at this juncture? But you've lost the opportunity to have your Maokai against the Vi and the Lucian Nami, which both those champions don't really like playing against you.
Let's see if they do ban the Cassante, or if they'd rather focus on Zeka a little bit here.
So now both of your primary tank junglers are gone from Dplus Kia. Rel's gone as well, which is one of Lucid's best champions.
Yeah, you know, Zeka is like the one guy in this league that actually is winning a lot on Azir, and I know that it's only 3 games. And
Oh, is Azir not doing well on LCK? He's doing really well on LPL.
By the way, Oriana's just hanging in the balance.
But Oriana is kind of the opposite, so we're winning more in Azir and LPL, and Oriana's not doing so well. I mean, I know that Sen and... So Nautilus is pretty good versus Enchanters in lane. Sen and Nautilus has more kill pressure than a... What is happening here, folks? So... Vi... So Viego has an interaction with Vi where she ults you and you just ult away. You can get out of a lot of her CC because you go unstoppable. If you time it right, you can kind of buffer it out of it. But now you have like 3 diving champions. So all 3 of these champions right now want to be diving into the enemy team. And you have to do that into Gwen pressing W and ulting through your team and eating you for your breakfast. You need to somehow one-shot the Gwen. And then you're going into a Nami tidal wave, which is going to stop one person getting into it. Even if Nautilus lands a hook or something, then like everyone else is like disengaged by the Nami ult. And you have nothing to stop, you know, I mean, Vi I still think is in a bit of a weird spot. I don't think that Vi's in a great spot right now in this draft, but it's still fine that she's there to kind of, again, reach a single target while Gwen and then Lucian guns them down. What's your last pick? How do you fix this draft? Do you have to go Nico or something like that? I mean, Nico's made his way through the draft. Do you just have to all in and just hope that you have enough all in to get onto the enemy team?
I mean, they're using up all the time in this today. They might just be a bit concerned about like Vi combos with aggressive mids.
They go for LeBlanc. But now you're going LeBlanc into a Vi that points and clicks you, and you just die for free. You have to play side lane versus a Gwen who just gets to like press W and you don't... I mean, even if this is like AD LeBlanc and you're playing side lane, I don't think you have side lane pressure. Because Gwen just like eventually eclipses you. You can wave clear, but you can't like kill her.
Yeah, I think it's not horrible in this case, but it can struggle, and I would rather see the AD variant as...
Oh, and Zeka... Okay, then Zeka does go towards Akali. Then this... Okay, so we do have...
Well, we are
right.
incompetent.
So now you have the issue of... So there's a lot of consistent damage between Gwen and Lucian, so Hanwha Life are not over... They already have that. So that means that Akali can wait for people to blow their cooldowns on, you know, the Vi that's engaging, or blow it trying to avoid the Nami tidal wave, or Gwen, one of the two. And that means that Zeka's going to have a great position for... If he plays it patiently, this Akali is going to have a great position to get like huge executes. No one on this team is Akali proof. If Akali wants you to die, she can kill you at one item. Silent Knight, thanks for the follow, by the way. This is an awful draft from Dplus, man. So what the bonuses they have, really good ability to get the first kill if someone's out of position with a Nautilus hook, Senna going onto them, these two hopping over a wall, well, these three hopping over a wall, and Viego getting a reset. That's the play from Dplus here. Everyone here is looking to get the first reset for Lucid on the Viego. But if you mess that up, Vi ults you, you have Lucian, and this is so much follow-up damage, man. This is a huge cleanup teamfight team from Hanwha Life. You know, once you get around to your second round of cooldowns, like second Lucian dash, Gwen, who's probably running Ghost, Akali, who's got like her second E or something like that, or builds up to Protobelt for extra chase and kite potential or whatever. Like, Dplus just gets shredded, man. How did this happen? I give that draft to Dplus? Oh, God. Yeah, okay, alright, I'll give you that one. I'll give you that one. That's actually pretty good. Okay, folks.
Especially in like week 1, where it seemed like this pick was extremely strong, and we were seeing Storm Surge kind of rule the day. We were seeing a little bit less niche Akali, which is kind of very standard. That we were just not seeing Zeka play it, which was shocking because that is his pick. It's his trademark.
Okay, so this is Zeka's first Akali game after, you know, he was the Akali guy for a while. Let's get into game. Let's see how my camera's up. And also, can I get this VOD any... Why is it at 480, man? Why are you doing that to me? Look it up here. Cool.
Here we go. Game number 1 of match.
Okay, so important things to note. It is AP LeBlanc, not AD, which means that you don't have any sustain in lane, but you do have good one-shot potential at points.
You know, Wolf, we're already almost a third of the way done with the LCK Spring.
Yeah, it's true. It's not crazy. We take a break next week, for those who didn't know.
Interested to see what build Kingen goes for. I don't think Kingen can go for the, well, lethality build means that maybe you can pop Gwen W for free because you hit like a one stray Q and then things go bad for them after that point. Maybe that's how it works. Why don't Dplus take Seraphine instead of Naught? Because then you have to play Senna Seraphine into Lucian Nami and you get blasted in lane, which is a problem. Another one-item spike, you're just gonna get ran at, which is a problem. I don't even think Tom Kench was a bad idea, and I think if you could have gone towards Maokai on second, if you go Tom Kench Maokai on 2-3, then the Vi already has so little value from HLE. Okay, so now you're playing against the Lucian Nami and you're losing the early levels, which is nasty. Showmaker's doing well in mid, because this is Showmaker, you know, Showmaker's LeBlanc. He's these are two iconic champions, by the way. Showmaker's LeBlanc and then Zeka's Akali. Anything interesting happening with jungle pathing? Just quickly pointing out good jungle wards from HLE to spot what's happening with Lucid.
I think, obviously, that was burden shared between him and Kingen in terms of that turret aggro situation. For those who did not watch the Guangdong series earlier this week, it was definitely a jaw-dropping.
Another ward from Doran going in towards top side. So they have full information on what Lucid's doing with his jungle path. Peanut can go shield bot side as it's crashing in. That's good. Because again, when you have dominant bot sides, you need to make sure... Yeah. Yeah, Lucid comes towards bot side. He stops their recalls, but that's about it. This is 14-1B, so you want to get yourself a recall for support items. Ah, this is another thing too, by the way. Oh god, this is... So, hang on. This is a really important moment, folks. I know we sped right through a lot of this early game, but this is a very important point. Part of this is something that a lot of people have been talking about is why are people going double Dorans on center lanes and bot side? So if you're playing towards double Dorans, you are looking towards getting better trades very early on. But as we saw, Lucian Nami was pushing in, if you look at the minimap, they were pushing in like the whole way. It did get into turret. Lucid sees the recall being stopped here, but they don't have any jungle vision to see what's happening towards bot side. You can assume quite safely that Peanut should be on bot side because it's a Lucian Army versus the center lane. I think everyone's going to be hanging towards that lane. And now as soon as, let's just back this up very quickly. When does he see them? As soon as you see this, as soon as you see Viper there, like you know the fight is on. And this is a huge, huge moment in this game. Because you have the double Dorans here. Which means that you need to get enough gold to get your support item on one of these two before you go back. So Senna needs to get some gold. You need to win this 3v3 bot side. If you don't win this 3v3 bot side, this game is pretty toast in the early game. And you have to find a way to claw it back. Good things are, well, so Viper has no mana. But he does have a biscuit, which can help him with some mana here. You need to win this. You need to win this 3v3 bot side. Lucid's probably losing flash, right? Oh god, dude, just flash. He is lucky to live. But now you have no HP to speak of. Callan can maybe get a hook to a wall. Body block from Peanut potentially. Guys, you pick the double Dorans. This is what you're picking your three. This is what you're picking for. This is what you're picking for. They just don't play this well. I mean, why are you doing this without? If you're roaming up towards Scuttle, you need a ward like here or here. You need one of the two. Fighting in bot side river on when you are blue side is really annoying right now if you don't have vision right there. Like, it's so easy to come into river through these two angles, right? As we've just seen, these two are coming in through a very good angle. Do they have a ward down there? They have a they have a ward which spots. So they know that Viper's in here, but they were also recalling before, so there's a potential that they were looking for a recall. Lucid should just be on edge of vision range here. It might be out of vision, so he thinks he can get up into river. Aiming and Calling do walk up. It's just Lucid. No, they're not fully walking up. They're hanging on top side of bot lane. Like, they're hanging out on this kind of line, right? Just like somewhere along here. But they're not actually moving up right now. Because if you had both of them stood in a line here, there is no way that a 0 mana Lucian can walk up and do this. He can't walk up and threaten this. Because he's worried about a Naught hook or a Senna W coming from here. Because while he doesn't have mana, there could be a flash auto for a root. If you flash auto into a root, then that's Senna W and then it's the hook coming through as well. So you can't walk up if they are in the right position. This is a huge miscommunication between Lucid. I mean, you can't get hit by the bubble there as well. That just pins him down for too much damage. As soon as the VA goes on 0 HP, then you can't fight. Because if you do manage to get the first kill, then you can get a reset, of course. You get the reset. Then Viego gets to do crazy things. This is really, really bad from Dplus. What are they doing? This is a really discoordinated 3v3 bot side. And because you have gone for the double Dorans on the bot lane, you are playing for 3v3 bot side. If you wanted to just sit up and farm under turret, you wouldn't have picked double Dorans. You would have picked a support item and get just more gold. Zero's Agent and Core, by the way, thanks for the follows. I know I was in the middle of a... I was having a moment.
Who also committed his flash with Peanut, but big win for the side of Hanwha Life Esports.
And this is something, by the way, that in the early game, Peanut was really, really good on Genji last year. Like, he would do lots of it himself, but the fact that Doran has gone in and put a ward here, they had a ward here, they had another ward going into bot side jungle as well, if you look down at the minimap. Peanut had full information of where it was likely Lucid was going to be. Reminder, folks, this is... oh, do you know what? I haven't done this for a while on stream. We can have a bit of a story time. Peanut started out as the jungler for Najin way back in the day. He started in Season 5, 2015. And what he did was revolutionize how you track enemy junglers. You know, in Season 4, we had Marta and Dandy from Samsung White play a style of vision game where you would ward out one half of the jungle. And you'd ward out one half of the jungle, and then by process of elimination, you would know that if they weren't in that half of the jungle, they'd be in the other half of the jungle. So you knew where they likely were going to be at any moment of time, as long as you had good vision coverage. And they were using stuff like Sightstone, which was back in the meta back then. You could get like really good ability to stop junglers from doing anything. Come Season 5, Peanut comes in, and he says, look, I'm going to play a load of duelists and a load of stuff that can bully people out early on. And as opposed to how Diamond Prox did this, one of the other great innovators of early seasons of League, you know, this was a couple of years before that, what he would do is he'd walk in, and he wouldn't necessarily go in to take your jungle camps or to kill you. He would go into the enemy jungle just to know that you're there. So he'd walk up into the enemy jungle and say, look, if my lane's already winning, or I need to know that the jungle isn't going to be able to gank, say, a bot lane 2v2 that's really going well for me or something like that, I'm just going to walk into enemy jungle and I need to know where they are. And he would do that on stuff like Kindred and Elise when he could actually kill you and he'd bully you out of your jungle. And this was, and he'd even do that on stuff like tanks. He'd do that on stuff like Sejuani later into his career and stuff like Zac he was a big player of too. Didn't really matter what he was playing. He invented what was called the battle warding strategy. And even though it's now 2024, 9 years later, he is continuing to have this kind of same style of, it's not in the same way of always walking into the enemy jungle. Sometimes it is on stuff like Poppy. Poppy, it very much is for him. Where he would just be able to walk into enemy jungle and track you and make sure his lanes are safe. Now, of course, there are other teams which do this now as well. Of course, I think that T1 do that with Ona. I think Ona has been a big player of battle ward strategy right now for T1. In fact, it's something which I talk about an awful lot with T1's playstyle. But yeah, Peanut, he was the battle ward original. So there you go. The hotshot jungler from Najin who went on to Rox Tigers. What a player.
You just don't have the damage output consistently as Senna. Senna is not really about damage throughput, she's about range, and she doesn't have that early. And when Lucid is this far...
But like, they have full information of where he's going to be, because they have wards and Tribrush, they knew he was going to be coming through there. And Lucid just has to flash that now. Oh man, you know Watch is a player I used to really love too. Watch was, yeah, I like Watch. Watch is Elise, he was a good player. Watch Goong. Goong was another Najin player which I miss. Who do I think the best LCK jungler is right now? Oh, Canyon is super good, man. I think it's between Canyon and Ona. Ona has some iffy moments, but like, I really like the style which he plays given his team. I think it's either Canyon or Ona.
Not sure if it's because they want to get onto that dragon as much as possible or help out the bottom lane as much as possible, or if it's just these two matchups, but, you know, again, Peanut's ever there, and he may have been able to expect it based on those patterns. You have to respect that. Now, this is going to be Peanut taking the Void buffs, all three of them. So all of the Kevins are happy, but Lucid will be able to get this straight. So the difference in this game is the last, and, you know, we did indicate some
Grubs to the side of HLE. Do they have champions which can hit towers easily? No. So Grubs are not going to be game winning. I mean, Lucian Nami will hit towers, but not like the... It's not going to be the be all and end all. Okay, you have support item now for aiming. But it's going to be stacking at the same level as Lucian because they got it late.
Already getting to work. It's going to be a plate. And we did see one trade between Doran and King, and that did go Doran's way. And already having a good time.
Okay, well, I say, do they have champions that can hit turrets? Apparently Doran can. Doran's going towards Riftmaker. Haunting Guys is a very nice component. Zac is going to be fine. Yeah, he's fine. He might have to teleport back, and sadly it's not on a cannon wave right now, so he's going to lose one wave because he was chunked out just before a cannon wave. Oh wait, can he actually survive? Oh, he had refill pod on Doran's. Okay, he actually might be fine. Using that chunk in mid lane to go into enemy jungle because Zeka can't respond and Showmaker can. Both supports roaming for the purpose of that.
There was a commitment. He's Nautilus. He has 6. He's one of the most difficult champions to dive when he's a support. When he's an actual tank. Tough. Hard to see us also under very little bit though. For all Nautilus. Yeah, that was must have eat the back minions as well, so they were just like half health, kind of awkward. That's fine. Everything's just kind of going according to plan down there. There was the one kill, the one oopsie from Lucid, and that did net Hanwha Life Esports 1,500 gold in the lead already. A lot of that as well is just the CS difference in top. Yeah, as well as that late that got picked up too. Yeah, we do have CS diff in mid, as Showmaker is ahead in the mid lane at least. Showmaker is putting the pressure on. You know, we mentioned it just moments ago where he was able to hit the chains there onto Zeka, and push him away, aiming not able to get a kill or anything like that. But
Anything interesting happening right now?
Yeah, trying to take this against Thorn, maybe trying to force an ult out, but does not bite the bait.
So we've got the Hex Drinker coming out from Kingans. We don't know anything about his true build yet. His build might change still. We don't know about that. I miss Canyon and Showmaker being together. Well, they were really bad last year, so... or rather, Showmaker was really bad last year. So I don't mind Canyon, like, going to seek greener grass. And Genji do look really good with him, so...
Trading you and getting those skills off. The ultimate isn't big. Can't get ult advantage. Doran doesn't have TP, and they're gonna lane swap on bottom side here after that play and put Viper up at the top. Showmaker, let's see if he can read this.
Showmaker missed the cannon. Rip. Yeah, nice one. Cannon is gone. And lose it. Hang out in the brush. They're definitely gonna check into this miss. They do see him, but the Void Bud's definitely a big
Okay, so are they gonna get 6 grubs? We'll see. If they get 6 grubs, then actually this Gwen can be an issue if you ever leave her alone with tower. Because if King is ever called away to do like a flanking play, there's the option for HLE to try and play disengage with the Nami tidal wave, and then Doran stays on tower. Okay, so they're not going to get 6 grubs. Even then, it's still going to be a problem. As soon as you get towards Nash's Tooth on Doran, it's going to be an issue. Yeah, for sure. Like, they are one of the iconic duos, are Showmaker and Canyon. I remember when they were just new upstarts coming into the LCK. You can't dive a Gwen like that. Blows a heal as well. Yeah, you're realistically never getting anything on that. And now we've got a cross map. Again, really good vision control from HLE. But why is... I mean, you have Aftershock Nautilus with this. Oh, okay, so they do actually get towards topside. Okay. 2 dives. Zek is towards topside. So, the Akali can actually survive here and stops you from taking full turret. But are you trading for full turret on bot side? No. What the hell happens in these dives? And why are we so hard forcing this? Why is Doran staying here? So Doran survives, but he uses his ult. He has vision in Tribrush. So what happens on top side? Showmaker teleports under turret. Zeka doesn't have teleport. They overkill him. They still have the Senna ult for it. There is no way that that works out for you.
Zeka though, see if he can survive here. He should be okay. It looked scary for a moment, like they were gonna have a successful
what? But like what? They overkilled him. So Doran, why are you there? That was not even close.
And you put Doran down, but he bought a lot of time. Obviously, originally here, this is going to force a teleport to Showmaker so they can make sure it's guaranteed.
He doesn't have the W cooldown back up. If he has W before the dive, that's fine. But like, wait for Zeka, you know? What are you realistically gaining from this? Like, there's a couple of minions under turret.
Zeka then comes in here and just holds this.
Nice.
Over here, it's just Delight, really great aggro hold.
Cullen has flash and aftershock. Oh, is there a way he can do this better? Ooh. So, I think, Callan might have misplayed this, you know? So the reason he throws the hook at Peanut, does he cancel a Q? If he cancels Peanut's Q, then it's fine, I think. So what's happening here? Hook, he cancels Peanut's Q. Oh, that's fine then, that's fine.
We are incompetent.
Does Delight get the knock-up onto him? There's actually an argument to just say put the ult onto Delight. He'll flash out of turret, but... Neo Streamer, thanks for the follow, I appreciate it. I was wondering if Callan had an option to like ult first, which would also cancel Peanut's Q, and then flash for the hook after. Could you have also flashed the... I mean, he's screwed as soon as the Nami hits him, I think. Ah, well. I mean, I don't know, he just shouldn't be there as well. He just shouldn't be there. If you're diving top lane with 4 people, there's no way you're going to be safe bot side, by the way, folks. There's no way that works out. He should just be more respectful.
Successful on both sides at a heavy cost, and I would say that for me, a kill going over to Lucian down there, so additional play gold is significantly better than a kill going over to a Viego.
Yeah, Viego getting killed to Lucian getting gold. Wolf's very right. Lucian with the gold is going to use that much better. Lucian's very far ahead of the game now. He's going towards Bloodsong as well in this patch, because of course he can. Viper is going to be absurdly strong.
So it is going to be interesting to see which
And there's no one really on the side of Dplus that can stop Lucian doing what he wants to. Well, yeah, they're not going to be able to survive what Lucian wants to do. So the way that you stop Lucian doing what he wants to do is that when he dashes forward, you hit him with big CC and you kill him. You punish him for dashing forwards. And ooh, hang on. Oh, that's a really fun interaction. So watch how Showmaker uses his QW here, right? So he throws the Q, but because he's also going to be Wing here, so if he Qs and then he dashes in the full direction, the W will stop. The W from Gwen will stop the Q from hitting. But because he's already here, by the time he presses W, he's inside the shroud, so his Q hits, so he gets the full damage. Yeah, so he gets the full damage from it. That's really nice. That's fun. I hadn't seen that interaction before. That's fun. That's cool. Showmaker knowing his LeBlanc versus Gwen matchup. And that trade means that Doran ends up taking more damage maybe than he predicted. He wastes his W and he dies. If he doesn't take the initial cast and then the popping of the mark as well, the sigil, both parts of the sigil, then maybe he'll lose through that. So Doran's had now 2 awkward moments where he's overstayed topside for a dive, and then he's taken a bad trade on bot side and died. And there's 2 kills to the Viego. That ain't so good. That ain't so good at all.
Be tough, though, I would say. Alone, and Senna is backing, so this comes over and sees it and walks away. Actually, they will defend this turret. Doran still had teleport, but still a lot of damage done there. They got that kill pretty significant. Overall, still fairly happy with Hanwha Life's position in this game because Gwen, despite being 0-2,
first items are being built up for everyone right now.
Will again still be relevant in sides later on, but you gotta get something as Dplus, at least they're able to successfully make that happen. But again, both kills.
There is an argument that you should have gone Lichbane instead of Protobell on Zeka. Lichbane is a really strong item right now, but Protobell does help you close the distance on Senna. If Senna pops E and goes into the Shroud, there's actually a good chance that you have to flash into the vision range to then get your ult onto someone as Zakali. So having the Protobelt can help you play around longer range. Why do you think only a few players can play Lucian at a really good level? LEC Lucian is in general awful. My favourite players would be Ruler, Viper, and Guma. Who do you think is the best? I think Ruler's fantastic. I think Elk is very good, and obviously the names you mentioned there too. So the reason why, so I've done a video about this on TikTok. So you can see that there. I think it's about 3 minutes. What does Lucian want to do? At 1 item, which is what you're sitting at right now, 1 to 2 items, Lucian wants to be dashing forwards, getting first strike onto you for extra damage, getting Bloodsong when he builds that up, getting his energized autos, and trading huge amounts of damage to you very, very quickly. And when he does that, Nami can lock you in place with a Tidal Wave, buff him up with the Imperial Mandate and her E as well, and kind of kills you. Now, Lucian loses these plays when you dash forward and someone like, in this screenshot here, Showmaker coming from the side, you usually see on the minimap as well, Lucid jumps in from bot side as well, and you die. So, what you need to do is get shallower. You need to get some shallow vision. So if you look at the minimap, you want vision like somewhere along this line and somewhere along this line to make sure that when Lucian jumps forwards, no one is third-partying it. He's alone to 1v2 this. Now in EU, typically jungle supports are not great at hanging around mid lane to either assist with the all-in or getting vision down to help them do it with a clean 2v2 to make good value of this. So what this means is that Lucians in EU and in LCS, they don't get the big all-in plays in mid lane, and then they stall out because they're spending so much time trying to look for the all-in but not successfully getting it. The enemy carries, so say for instance in this game you've got a Senna, right? Senna gets a load of stacks, gets a lot of items, and then outvalues you later into the game. So Lucian needs to stay ahead of the game. He's very, very good when he's ahead of the game, but you can't afford to stall out. Whereas LPL, LCK, very, very good at walking into enemy jungle, getting good vision, and that allows you the next time when you're going into the lane to get a big play. And also, this is one of the reasons why I think that Maokai is very good against Lucian, because one, you've got saplings which can kind of contest vision and kind of stop him from getting big plays. And also, whenever he presses his ult, whenever Lucian dashes forward, Maokai just ults over the wall. Peanut. Okay, Herald dies. Yeah, Maokai is very, very good versus Lucian Nami because there's kind of a concept in League of Legends called response time, where if someone makes a play, how quickly can your champion respond to it. Someone like Kai'Sa, she just jumps in. Hey, Sentinel, how's it going? Someone like a Galio or a TF, they have global ultimates, they respond very quickly. Someone like a Maokai just throws an ult over the wall and also has a very quick response time. You want quick response times versus Lucian because he is very quick at punishing you. Okay, so you've used Gwen W, Hook's on cooldown. So Doran doesn't have W now, which is a problem. You're looking for first reset from Dplus, remember again. You're looking for first reset. Hook lands, it's onto Vi, who doesn't get to ult. Okay, you have a reset. Zeka gets a kill. Owie. Okay, but now there's nothing to stop Viper doing what he wants to do. There's no armor on Kingen either. Yeah. Let's go back to this again. What are the big moments here? So you don't have Tidal Wave, that was just used mid lane. That's important. That's one of the ways that you break up a team fight. Because, put it this way, right? If you Tidal Wave, so for instance, in this kind of situation, forget Kingen's here for a second. If you Tidal Wave down this line, Aiming and Lucid have two options. You either go backwards, or maybe you go to the side. Either way, you are not going forwards and hurting people. So, if you can't do that, then you have to... Then the problem is, if you ult this way, everyone on this team gets to solo out this one target here. While these two back in the corner, these two here, they can't damage you in return. Tidal Wave is an incredibly powerful team fight separator, where part of your champions just are separated from the rest of your team because they just don't want to get hit by the Tidal Wave. Getting hit by the Tidal Wave is a significant amount of damage, you're slowed for a long time afterwards, and it means that you just can't really do what you want to do. You don't have Tidal Wave, they back off, they make sure that Doran's W is down, he gets hit by a root. Kingen's over the wall and doesn't have ult now, that's annoying. Sentinel only hits one, but it's enough for a reset. Someone like Viego, when Viego is stealing someone's corpse, when you're getting the reset on Viego, you want to look at how good their basic cooldowns are. Vi's basic cooldowns are really good. Lucid gets that. Yeah, once your Nautilus is dead though, a lot of your CC for the Akali is gone. Akali takes down the center, you have no consistent damage after the point and you die. So, they get Dragon, but they lose a lot of gold. Who gets the gold from HLE? 2-0-2 on the Lucian. This is where things are going to be really interesting. Now I want to see how HLE use the Lucian power spike, because that's something that we've been highlighting already in this conversation that we're talking about. And Viper's just in the pocket. There's no one threatening Viper ever, really, though. Profane Hydra from Kingen, so he is going for the like backline assassination build. First build. You would replace Kingen for Thanatos? Yeah, I'm surprised that Thanatos doesn't have a team. Kingen... Well, we talked about him having some good moments versus Genji in the series that we reviewed yesterday. But he also failed to get the game-ending flanks, which you need to do on Aatrox. Like, Aatrox is a champion where if you're looking for flanks, like, this dude has to hit the mark. He didn't do that. So what's happening here? Why are they all ending on Lucian? So now look at this again. Look at this again. So you have... so look at what you've tried to do to set up the Lucian. Some shallow vision here. Shallow vision here. So you should vaguely know where people are on the map. You know that you're getting pushed in on bot side, so that's why, you know, because you know that they're all pushed in towards that side of the map, that's why they're hanging up towards this kind of area rather than down towards here. So they're hanging up around here. So Viper's on the top side of the lane. As soon as you see the Viego come in here, that's one thing. You know that Kellen doesn't have flash, he can't flash ult, you are flash hook. But yeah, Viper's now in a situation where he has full information of whoever's going to be messing with his lane. And now he's very fed after the last fight too. That means that when people come into the lane, he still has dash, he still has flash. Lucid has flash and he has ult, he can force out both of them. But look how much damage there is if you're not immediately punishing the Lucian, right? Lucian pops the ignite. Lucian and Nami successfully 2v3 because they have the vision. You don't see this in LEC or LCS because you don't have the vision to understand that you can go full ham. Lucian players in the West are not bad at going full ham on Lucian. They're good mechanically. They just don't have the team set up to go full ham when they want to.
Some help from his teammates.
And now you have Bloodsong as well on Viper. Like, you're so strong.
Kellen has to pay for the sins.
If you ever fail to shut down the Lucian, I mean, there's a difference here. So this is important too. What did I say? How do you shut down Lucian? When he dashes forwards, you hit him, and things go badly.
100%.
He hasn't dashed forward. He's holding on to his E. He sees the damn mist. He knows what's happening here. He dashes backwards, and he gets to reset the fight.
He's gonna ult away, and he's gonna get some help from
They have to
his
pop
teammates.
like how many ults? They pop 2 ults to get away from this.
Bubble is gonna come down, and now Kellen again is in trouble, and once again,
And there's nothing they can do, man. As soon as Lucian actually starts to turn and burn on you, the fight's over. You have to stop Lucian doing what he's going to do at mid-game. At this item break point, there's no stronger AD carry than Lucian.
Shown his rookie colors quite a bit this season already. It's another moment where you're trying to be practical, you're trying to get back into this game, but you just don't have the control of the follow-up in this moment to make a play like that. And now once again, Kellen, who's 0-4 this game.
It's a big mistake, man. It's a big mistake.
Who's in Shroud? They can't see him, but again, you're still running a Senna who isn't online yet. And so even if you are able to hit that stun on the Viper, you don't win these. Kellen is just...
Yeah, exactly. Even if you hit the stun onto Viper, you don't win these. That's such a bad play from Dplus. You're playing into the power spike. Oh, hang on. What's happening? What's happening top side here? TP on Kellen is so weird. Especially if you're looking to 3v. Actually, that's a point to you because they bought up the double Dorans early game, right? For level 1, they had double Dorans. You could just go for Ignite or Exhaust. Helps you win the 3v3 bot side. So now Showmaker's gone. So Zek is waiting for the cooldowns here. So now he's used both of his yeah, he's used both of his abilities, both of his distorts. This is, folks, this is what gets you kicked out of the League of Legends casino. It is cooldown counting. What does Zeka do? He waits until he sees Showmaker use his dash. He dashes back. Now he knows LeBlanc only has 2 dashes. LeBlanc has 2 dashes. You have your regular W and you have your ult W. And if he already gets his ult, if he already gets his ult kind of going, so he has a free targeted R2 dash. Then he has Protobelt, he has the Shroud, and he has E to get really good mobility here. And there's a flash from Showmaker too. So Showmaker, he dashes out of the E, he flashes immediately, and then then he flashes out of the E. He has his return point, but that ain't enough. And then you have finally the Vi coming up as well. But like, if you misuse your W in front of an Akali, you are so dead in this matchup. So well played from Zeka to just punish Showmaker in the side lane. And now suddenly, well, I mean, that's Baron gone, right? You have no center ult. Yeah, that's Baron gone now, and this game is now over. This is now over. This is the game-ending play, actually. If you lose Baron here, how do you... God, but like, early Baron... Why is this game ending? In this particular draft, it's game ending because... Baron... You're playing against the strongest AD carry at this point in the game. And the early Baron at, 22 minutes, that links up with the 2 item power spike from Lucian. So now you have to play against Baron against the strongest AD carry in the patch at their item breakpoint. Like, that is so messed up, man. That's so messed up. You can't face the Lucian, and with the Baron buff, he gets to force plays even more. So all you're hoping for now is that HLE, they overpush. You're hoping that they overpush, you get a good teleport, and you kill them. But Kingen doesn't even have teleport, so Kingen needs to get a flank as HLE push too far. That's the only way you win this game now. Dragon's going up. So they're trying to make this not about minion waves and not about the Baron buff, which makes a certain degree of sense. They're teleporting in. This is their last chance to like take an even fight. Zeka sees Kingen. Showmaker is completely blitzed out of the fight, so that's most of their burst damage gone. Kingen does actually get a flank. That's actually not bad, but he just does, I mean, you're playing against just the Lucian power spike. That was as good as it gets from Kingen, by the way, given that he doesn't have a teleport. And it just doesn't matter. You don't have the gold, and Viper still has flash. Honestly, not bad from Kingen. He didn't have teleport. That's as good as it gets. Oof, and that's, yeah. I mean, I understand. I mean, that's the way that they potentially could have won the game. Get a good flank onto Lucian, kill him. I still don't think they win, by the way, even if that happens. I still think they lose. Look at this, right? So Kingen is spotted here. You get the oh, but you get the Nautilus ult onto the Lucian. You have an ulting Aatrox hitting multiple Qs onto him with lethality build. That is as good as it gets. That's actually quite depressing to watch, because that's the one fight which they potentially could win. Obviously, there's no one else getting on the Lucian. It's just the Aatrox. But yeah, that just sucks for them. Holy moly, Viper is fed.
He is able to just take lives very easily. He's going to look for a little bit more. Challenging Lucid, his counterpart, and it does not look close. He's just going to go in there and press his...
Hang on, how much damage does he do there?
Counterpart, and it does not look close.
Oh, so much damage. Kellen flashes forward to just try and CC Viper. God damn, that's a lot of damage. And he just gets to sit over the wall with no one threatening him.
He's like, look, I didn't get caught. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Damn.
Look at my KD. It looks totally fine.
Viper is so strong. But the thing is, the great thing about Viper on this Lucian, right, is that he never gives you an easy angle onto him, which means that you have to exhaust a lot of abilities just to get to him in the first place. But it's not like he's doing that at the expense of doing damage. I think a lot of people, they play very conservatively, very reserved, and that means that they don't do the damage that they need to. Viper's not that guy. Viper still does the damage, right? He's just positioning well in regards to his front line. And look here, right? Viper can sit in this little pocket here. It's a thing which I like to talk about with some AD carries, where you sit in the pocket, where you are safe behind either something like this wall as terrain, or something like a front line, like this Vi. And then, of course, you have an enchanter behind you even then, so if someone even gets to you, then the enchanter helps you out. So for me, this is kind of sitting in the pocket, and he never has to leave the spot, by the way. He never even leaves, he never goes beyond this wall. And as soon as someone threatens him, he's behind the red buff, he's behind the Nami, so no one can get on top of him with like a direct skill shot. Dashes away from Lucid, who does get himself a reset, but he just does so much damage that Lucid can't stick around for the kill. Like, he never has to go beyond this wall, folks. And yet he's still doing good damage. He never has to go beyond this wall. Which means that you have to expend like a Flash or a Viego or a LeBlanc W to get over the wall. And Viper is completely safe. And he's doing insane damage even then. Because he has Fire Cannon, his range... I mean, Jesus Christ, the damage. Damn, son. So now you are 14... Yeah, you're 14,000 gold up. That's completely fair, by the way. Okay, they actually get the Gwen, but like at what cost? So you're 4v4, you're losing inhib. I mean, they stop Zeka from... they stop Doran from getting something done on the next wave, which is fine. Yeah, it's actually a good play from the root from Showmaker. This game is yeah, I mean, I think Damwon, they failed the 3v3 bot side, which really didn't help. And then they did a bit of inting into Viper, and Viper really cleaned up house. The play in mid lane was particularly egregious, but oh my god, the damage. Oh my god, man.
He's got a hat. When Showmaker gets the hat, usually they win. It's not the case this time.
Fire Cannon auto. Oh god. Oh my god, he just got hundreds of zeros in, man. But again, like the way that you stop this from happening is that when Lucian goes forward, you just immediately CC him. But there's no one in range to do this. There's no one doing this, man.
Yeah, that's legendary now for Viper. And he's not done yet. He's looking for more victims here. As, yeah, they're just pushing the top lane. They're going to do this the old-fashioned way. Yeah, really
you don't have the stats to face this guy. Okay, they actually get him that time. But it's, yeah, you don't have the stats now. You're 14k down.
Down will go Doran again. He's going so deep for these kills. And it just doesn't seem to matter. It is Lucid alone as the Shuriken lands.
Alright, game one. There you go.
As they take down the Nexus turrets, Hanwha Life Esports will not only win game one, but they will absolutely embarrass them here in game number one as they pick up 23 kills.
Yeah, they really destroyed Damwon here. This was not close, actually. This was neat. Okay, draft 2.
Makes you wonder if there was preparation, or maybe there was a bit of a crisis management going on in that short break between games 1 and game 2. Talking about other things long.
So,
somewhere there's a Nymera who's really
oh gosh, thanks for the Prime surprising. I really appreciate it. Oh, I was really confused for a second because I heard Atlas on the stream, and then I remember that Atlas is also like my I've got a load of sub notifications with Atlas. I don't know why. They were just really good sound bites, so now they're on my stream. I should really ask him if he's okay with them. I've been using them for a while. I should probably ask. I doubt he'd have an issue with it, but I don't know. It feels a bit weird. Right, so Senna's off the table. Senna's off the table. Which means that you're going to have slightly more standardized bot sides. Are you willing to give... So we haven't changed sides as well, worth noting. You watch all of my LPL stuff and podcasts? That's really kind of you. I appreciate that. And I'm glad you enjoy the content. I need to move my camera. I need to move my camera. That's what I need to do. Yeah. Yeah, I really appreciate that. The support means a lot. Okay. So... You're going to have a bit more of a... Well, it's not even like Senna's a bad early level bot lane. I just didn't like the Nautilus with it. Well, no, even the Nautilus could have been fine. Vakrat, thanks for the follow, I appreciate it. The Nautilus could have been fine. They just screwed the level 3 early. And, you know, Lucid and the bot lane were just not on the right page. So are they going to first pick... No, so they banned the Lucian. So they banned the Lucian. That's surprising. I feel like LPL is more willing to give Lucian up. And then trying to make something out of a counter. Because I guess with Milio gone, so a lot of the answers for... So we've seen a couple of answers for Lucian. We've seen Milio Aphelios. We've seen Kalista Renata. Kalista's up, by the way. That's probably going to get locked in. And then we've now seen stuff like Varus Nautilus, which can do really well. You can go poke Varus with that too. Just the hook into the arrow is just a nasty combo. Stoned Goist. Thanks to Fleur. Appreciate it. So what's the first pick? You picking Kalista? Or are you letting that go through? We've got Corki available too. First pick Vi? Are you kidding me? Are you just saying that... Are you saying that if they pick the Kalista, the Vi will get on top of them? Because presumably you give over Kalista right now, it's Viper. Viper and aiming are both great at that. Okay, so Kalista Corki. So now you have... At big fights, the package can stop Vi... Why are we first picking Vi? Hey, Blade Trinity. Why are we first picking Vi? Corki can when Corki has package, which is most of the big objective fights, which is where, you know, large amounts of the game are decided, Corki can just package away from you. So that's one of the key carries that you can't even shut down. The Kalista... I mean, if you lock in a Renata... If you lock in a Renata on 3... Or later into the game, later into the draft, depends if Dplus respect it or not. The Renata means that Vi hits the first target, and they get a chance to get bailed out, while the Renata also ults the rest of your team.
I do think the one game against D1 was a bit of a fluke, for sure. I think that can play the Sam. I think a lot of people can play the Sam pretty well.
Okay. Varus Ashe, so very strong level 1 pressure bot side. Now, I think you can go for a couple of options here. You can either go for Nautilus with the Kalista, or you can go for Renata. When they lock it in, they might choose to leave support answers later. Yeah, I think Maokai's completely fine. So now this is such a... This is why we don't first pick Vi! This is why we don't do it! And why I thought it was really bad, actually, from HLE picking it early last game as well. Like... Yes, Maokai's a flex. Maokai is a flex, you're right there, Blade Trinity. But Maokai, just by throwing ult... So this is the same kind of thing with the Renata, which I was just talking about, right? If Vi goes onto one of these two, namely the Kalista, then... Maokai throws his ult back in return, so that everyone else on the team is rooted up while Vi is trying to kill the main target. If you do the same, if you manage to get like Maokai and Renata, you have great ability to kind of like throw this forward and then pepper them with rockets afterwards, and then even stuff like the Kalista Pierce is really good at following up on that. But like the Vi is going to get separated from their team so easily. Remember last game when I was talking about Nami's ult being a team fight separator, where you've got backline which wants to walk backwards away from CC in the front line that just gets separated because of that. Like Maokai is another great example of that. Evil Monk, thanks for the follow, I appreciate it. And Renata's another good answer of that too. Okay, banning away the Pike. You could also ban away the Blitzcrank as well, because hook supports are really good in lane versus double AD carry, Ashe, Varus kind of lanes. Exclusive to him that he likes to play more than anyone else that's rated the Corgi is the Syndra. And that is something they could go for here, potentially, if he wants to try to put that pressure on in mid, push that guy out. Final ban here will be on, very likely, another support. Nautilus. There's still... Interestingly enough, HLE did not ban out Orianna, which is one of Vi's best companions, I suppose. Synergies, that's the better word. And they do look in the Renata. Exactly, this is this... why... Like, I get banning out lane counters to your bot lane duo, but like... How the hell is Vi meant to play the game? Okay, so picture this. Vi goes in, these two press their ults, even if they're not overlapped on each other, and sometimes it might be better if they're not overlapped on each other, but one of these two is going to have ult. You're going to get a bailout onto your carries, so even if it's Marco that's caught, if one of these two is caught, and then you pop the bailout, throw both your ults, Vi immediately explodes into a million pieces of stardust, and then you've lost your jungler, and your big combo is down. Like, what the hell, guys? You know, I would have even been happy not taking the Ashe and going for Varus Renata as well. You can take away the Renata that way from the enemy team composition. I think this Varus Ashe alongside the Vi has left them in a really bad position in this draft. Like, what do you do at this point?
I mean, the bailout synergy is insane, and if you can get into handshake range and then put someone in Callista's, auto range, and she can actually put those spears in, you win those.
And they do lock in the Orianna. But Ori also gets outranged by these two big ultimates too. I think Ori's good into Corki individually. So what are you looking at last pick here? Top lane blind... Oh, you even have to blind pick top lane here as well. So you can't even go for something that counters the team composition, because there's a good chance you get countered in lane. And keeping in mind that this Marco is also... Oh no, the Marco is no longer reflects, it is in jungle because the Renata's bot side. Like, so they lock in just, okay, blind pick Gnar. That's fine, it gives you some... So Gnar is a good side lane option and still an okay team fight, whilst also not getting punished too hard in lane. Gnar's actually a pretty good blind pick right now. It's not going to be the team fight threat that Aatrox is. Okay. So now Jax is playing into... I mean, Jax can beat Gnar. Gnar's, that's fine though. Thanks, I can hydrate that, thank you. But like, if Jax is on a flank now too, because Jax can struggle to get on top of some of these champions, right? These three here, he can struggle to get on top of. But if you have these two huge ultimates, and then also Callista running forward with her ult as well, throwing Renata into the fray, it gives extra space for the Jax to worry about, to not have to worry about these three, right? Because if they have to burn, if they have to walk in a certain direction to get out of skill shots, they have to blow their ults in one direction, it means that they don't get to do that on Jax. So Jax gets a lot of free time to make things work. Also, hey Vasu, how's it going? Like, how did Dplus get this outdrafted, man? That is bad.
In terms of the lane matchup, I think very strong in terms of surviving and getting the ability to engage and following up on Maokai. The biggest issue I think I have here with the composition of Dplus is that it has
oh man.
a reliable way of dealing with Corki.
So how are they going to outplay this? How can they attempt to outplay this? They can potentially get very good lane pressure early on bot side, potentially. But even then, that's not a solve all, man.
And Corki has Valkyrie in package, and in this game, a Maokai for some additional support as well as a Renata class. Once again.
Yes, Snowball is always an answer. If they get very good bot lane pressure, that's one thing, but Callista Renata is very, very good against squishy bot lanes, because, so one thing which happens, right, is that once you hit level 2, level 3, you put the bailout on Callista, and even if you burst out the Callista, she can turn around with a huge amount of damage, and when her HP bar hits 0, she gets to stack up an extra couple of times and then kill you with the rend and then reset. And then, like, reset her HP bar with a bailout. Okay, level 1 is okay. That's actually not too bad from Callista Renata for a level 1. They do both get hit by the volley, but at least they use the bone plating well from Delight. I saw some people complaining about bone plating on Renata against this duo before, but it makes a lot of sense at level 1. But now they back for that? Okay, the level 1 is actually not as good as I thought then. Blow the heal. Poke Varus worth noting. Poke Varus is very good against Callista. If you're trading auto attack range with Callista, it gets kind of spooky. But if you're doing from huge range, then Callista can really struggle. Doran walks into enemy jungle against Lucid just to spot him out, so he's battle warding now.
Product of when Jax was meta Genji was winning everything all the time. But part, in fact, due to his Jax play.
Support item for aiming, gets it on first back.
He was like 18 and 12 poppy, but he was also like 18 and 2 that season. So
The bonus of this, of course, is that Ashe also gets some gold too, which means that she gets the first item and get a little quicker. Kalista doesn't want to go towards support item, it's not very good on her.
I do think that Doran
Not massively anyway.
also some lackluster ones, and that has been Doran's charm.
She needs her actual item spikes. They worked so much better for her with like Blade, Rage Blade, and then not Perplexity, Terminus.
If you try to lead your back R, then R hops away. If you're playing passively, you're getting harassed. And a Counter-Strike, while it is potentially very useful, doesn't block Boomerang. You also, it's on a decently long cooldown. So you've already taken a lot of damage, but this here. I don't know if he really wants to try to make a play here, though. Only if he can overcommits.
Doran's gone for Fleet, interestingly enough, not towards something like Grasp or I mean, Grasp against Gnar can be a bit annoying because you're unlikely to proc it in a lot of situations.
Make sure that he's not wrapping around to allow for that handshake play and to big mail out opportunity down there, especially with Lucid Fallen Dragon right now. This is on vision.
Lucid's on vision.
Not just gonna be able to walk through mid and try to contest this when you don't have any bot cryo at all.
So Damwon, remember, they banned out you know, Nautilus and Blitzcrank or whatever it was to ban away some Nautilus and Pike to ban away some hook champions in lane, which are pretty good versus the double AD carry. Okay, so 2 grubs to the side of HLE, that's good for them. Denying some from Kingen. Now, by taking 2, it means that even if you give up the last one and then the full of the next spawn, you're not giving over 5 grubs to a Gnar, which can split push very effectively. So that's fine from HLE, just taking the 2 is fine. This is more of a takeaway of grubs rather than claiming them for yourself.
You're scaling in the Corki. What we've seen in the past, a lot of the time when Ashe normally banned, is that you go Kalista, you're the lane bully, and then you also have that late game Corki scaling insurance. It's nice.
Yeah, pretty important. If the Kalista does get on top of one of these squishy AD carries, she can kind of just do whatever she wants. So
But at the end of the day, this is still not the best early game situation for Damwon.
So it's not the same type of scenario. And the bars Ashe, I think, it's not going to be close to the range.
Yeah, Zeka's doing fine in this lane. I know he got mashed in one matchup versus Faker. Well, both sides of it actually, I'm pretty sure. Which I'm sure we'll watch that after. We'll watch this after. Or if you're watching this on YouTube, maybe you already watched it on the other video, which I will do in the future from where I am now. But yeah, LCK, typically Orianna has been keeping Corki down. But like, in most people's matchups, it's just, you know, it delays the power spike of Corki, it doesn't stop him being relevant. We have seen, though, particularly Faker, bully this lane so hard that you actually just can't play the game as Corki. So, that's the difference. Faker's on a 20-game win streak on Corki. And he's also winning against Corki as well. Yeah, he's winning both sides of the matchup, which is really game-breaking for draft. Okay. So Doran's just... okay. But now because jungler shows top side... Oof, close. Because, yeah, because you see that play top side, it forces out double flashes from bot lane. You only blow the 1 flash and the double ults from Viper and Delights. Now they're ahead in CS slightly actually in bot lane, so this is fine. Giving up an early kill here is not the worst thing ever. It's not great, but like this doesn't change the game. Doran's just trying to push things in before he can get back to lane.
He's like, whoops, I missed.
It's like, I'm trying to clear out these minions, not so that we can kill you. You know, I'm just missing all this stuff. Maybe you should jump on me. And then Doran's like, hey, this looks great. Let me get in here. And yeah, that's the way it goes sometimes.
I think also counter-wise, Doran was trying to see if Lucid was topside so that they can make the play bottom as well. And he's like, I found him. Unfortunately, he found him a little bit too far away, and Kina was a little bit too far away.
It's a fair point. Maybe Doran was actually just trying to see if he can get Lucid on vision by keeping himself in top lane, but you shouldn't die for that.
For example, and you grab the second one, you were going to feel amazing. The control that you have. Unfortunately for Zeka, you're just way far away from relevancy in this game. Doran has no TP.
I remember this bottom lane was even stronger back when
Next time the ults come up from Viper and Delight, this lane is so screwed in bot side though. Okay, that's one of the problems with this CC combo versus the Corki. Package just means that you get out for free. They lose Dragon, but they don't get the kill. Zeka gets to farm up another wave mid. He's fine. I don't even think... I mean, giving 2 early Drakes over is a bit annoying. Okay, hang on. Let's this one out. I am actually going to slow this one down. A lot of the other ones I feel like were fairly... you can reduce them to... like, they're not that important. Like, I don't think they're that important. Because the overall state in the game doesn't change that much from them. So you have ults back up from HLE. So you know what I was saying about... oh, you know, the next time the ults come up, because Callan doesn't have flash, and Amy doesn't have flash even though he has cleanse. It's a very dangerous situation for them. I think DK realized that. So they look for a teleport overload just to say we've got 4 people on bot side. So the arrow lands. Viper still has ult though. He needs to be careful. Yeah, okay, so he uses that ult to stop the Varus ult coming through. Okay. Showmaker doesn't have ult though. Okay. They double teleport bot side. What? He runs out of Mega. That's an insane Renata roll. Yeah. Okay, now you can teleport back. I mean, yeah, you've double teleported and used all your bloody HP. Doran has flash, so you're losing at least one. This is such an overforce. There is no reason to go that deep. So when is the play realistically over? I think as soon as Meganar runs out, leave it. I think as soon as Meganar's over, just go. So that Renata also cancels the Vi Q as well, so that's on cooldown, which is annoying. But like, why are you staying without Meganar, man? Yeah, that's just that's just bad. So they try and punish this window where HLE are actually trying to all in. They try and counterpunch, right? Where they say, okay, we don't have summoners, but you have ults, so you're going to look for it all in. Let's just throw a load of teleports down. But they don't even have Shockwave, man. They don't have Shockwave. King runs out of Mega. And they massively overchase. That is the initial part of that plan, just saying, okay, let's stop the Kalista and Arda from being able to use their next round of ultimates to destroy our bot lane. I think that's fine. But the overchase is just unforgivable, man. I think if you manage to get a clutch like Flash Meganar, I think it's fine from Kingen. I think that's fine. But the arrow lands onto the target. They use both their ultimates onto a Renata who just gets pulled out by the Kalista. That's already a problem in itself. Oh god. Good response though by HLE. Get the teleports back. Thanks, yes.
They were able to get Doran out of top, like he was going to get plate gold, maybe 2 plates worth of gold. They got his DP, they stopped the plates from going down by committing there, and I'm really just reaching about this, but I'm stretching, okay?
Doing his best Zack impression right now. Stretching strikes coming in.
Okay, Varusol hit topside. They've actually lane swapped to get away from the Kalista. Because it's a Hextech Rift, you can get back to lane a lot quicker though, because of the portals. Okay, so that was like one last plate going topside or whatever it was. Maybe not even one last plate even. And now, because plates are off, you're going to get bot lanes moving towards mid lane now, because it's less important to get side lane plates. Got Kalista for objective secure. Zeka backs off, sees that. Yeah, this is a really good ward here, actually. This is a really good ward, because obviously you know that it's the Hextech Rift, so if anyone appears here, you can see it on this control ward there. So Lucid has to fly out. And he doesn't get the blue buff still. Blue buff actually goes over to Zeka as well, which is nice. Because Corki goes through a lot of mana, he does. Gets sapling some nice vision. So even though Damwon have, you know, a 1.5k gold lead, which is, you know, it's fine. It's not changing the nature of this game now, where you're going to be diving forward into double disengage separating ults. The Maokai and the Renata are just so annoying, man. How do you deal with this, you know, as the Vi? Even if you go forward with the Vi-Orianna combo and you immediately explode the first target, there's a good chance that you get things turned around with a bailout. I'm not doubting that Damwon have the damage for the first kill. I'm just worried that they get separated out, that they don't get to get all that damage on target. If everyone's hitting the same target, it's great. It's just very hard for everyone to do so. So now Dragon's alive. I think HLE feel like now they have the items to fight. They have the package. Doran's flashing in. He's ulting in. Really good Renata roll. So again, separates out the team. Kalista ult to stop this return fire. Maokai ult does the same. Zeka. But okay, now this is bad from HLE. Okay, they get the reset even then. But like, guys, you just used your 2 big ultimates. Okay, this isn't good. This isn't good. So they use the Maokai ult, they use the Renata ult, they use the Kalista ult. And then Zeka's like, YOLO! And he jumps straight into a Vi, doesn't hit the carries. He doesn't even force the flash out of the carries. What is this? Why does he go there? Zeka, what the hell? You just use all of your team fight. Yeah. That's a 9 times on Zeka. That's so bad. That's so bad. That package actually ints away that entire fight. God, why? Even then, you can see the bailout get value, because Viper actually managed to get a turnaround kill. God, that is not it though, folks. Ugh. What are they doing? So bad. Nymera, could you ask why your brother why NLC refuses to upload VODs on YouTube and trying to help a player from one of the teams? Such a pain going through the VODs. I have no idea. I don't have any contact with NLC right now. Also, Sam's not in right now. He went out for brunch with a friend, which I was also going to, but I planned the stream, so I didn't want to stop that. I can ask him later though, maybe. Okay, Zeka's getting towards second item, Malignant second item, makes sense. I think that there's an angle for Dplus to win through side lanes at this point too, because the Gnar's actually quite far ahead. They've taken down a lot of turrets at this point. Because HLE kind of through that last fight, it again takes a lot of gold out of their pockets. Okay, another Varasalt misses. Aiming's Varassalts have been really bad this game. They've been really bad thinking about it.
Again, the amount of control that Dplus have now off of just one misplay is unreal. Because otherwise, if you just get out of that dragon, you grab dragon, you retreat.
Oh, this is interesting. So this is not Bloodrazor. This is the Solstice Slay on Varus, which gives you what, heal and movement speed on ability hit. That's actually not bad, because Poke Varus can't use the Bloodsong that well.
As this bottom side play was happening, as you can see, but it's a cannon wave. Showmaker's not going to lose too much. Turret doesn't go down. This Herald will be hard pressed to do anything. Okay. And now you're really back on.
Okay. Okay.
I'm not even sure, like.
That was a weird Herald charge. Very poor. I mean, it's a takeaway. It means that Damwon can't use it themselves, but this ain't it, folks.
The idea there maybe is like, wait, hold on, does Peanut get ult if we delay this, and then maybe, but I mean, yeah.
Slow or CC gives you the heal and okay, right, and the movement speed, right? Gotcha. So yeah, with Ian ult, that's fine, but his ult's been really bad. So. Gotcha.
Like Doran can't really step up in his lane anymore. And again, remember this was an R5 Jackson, which the Gnar was face up, so yeah, we were definitely a little bit confused by it.
So now you're waiting for what? Second package cooldown?
He is having a great game on his own, okay? He is not making big errors. His death was not his fault.
You know what?
His block on the Ash Arrow, his ultimate on that Dragon Fight were sick.
Yeah, I also really like his Redemption first choice.
Yeah.
It's pretty cheap, you can get it online early. It's also really great against
yeah, Redemption first from Delight's really good. I like that a lot. Because you're gonna... if you go something like Shurelya's, it's not stopping you get engaged on, whereas the Redemption can actually stop some of the Wombo getting value from down one.
Long enough for HLE to still have a chance. So this game is not doomed, but it is certainly, like I said, there's not like, on a bit of a back for you. Now he's got a second item. Okay, this is a big opportunity. This fight here, if they get your fast
another set of ultimates not really getting much value. You got 2 items from Zeka, so he is actually on a decent pass point. Spike now.
Yeah, and they got the dragon before. So
okay, so you still have the okay. Why is Kingen so far out there, man? You're Mini Gnar. So he's trying to stack up Mega Gnar on the... Wait, who puts the ward down there? Is that Kingen walking forward to put a pink ward down? Yeah, so it's Kingen that puts that down. And now you're in a really dangerous spot because even though Maokai's not in position to do that. Wait, guys, your Varus and Orianna aren't even here, man. This is not the play. And then you have like, you know, you're gonna have a Maokai ult coming in like this direction with the tendrils going like this. Or so. You can go that way. Or it can go like slightly further angle this way too if it wants, just to kind of like stop Kingen from getting all out. But like, why are you there without your damage, man? Kingen, dude, what are you doing? I don't know. I'm not convinced by Kingen. I think Kingen's had some really bad flank positioning. Okay. Doran flash. Oh. Because Kingen dies so quickly, you don't even need to blow the Maokai ult. Okay, so the ball's out of position for a shockwave. Showmaker doesn't have position for that. Viper's got completely free reign to keep going forward. Does he have bailout? Ah, he's out of bailout range. That's not great from Viper. Yeah, I think Kingen's had a really bad understanding of where he needs to be in regards to flanks.
He says, Kingen says, no, you can't come, you can't get bio. I'm going to the Hex Tech Gate, and then he just gets handshaken, whatever the term may be.
Handshook now.
Yeah, he's feeling real shook. But now, with that, confident enough to start off the Baron. TP coming through.
I don't think
Okay.
too caught out. We do have a flanking.
So now they wait. Why are they engaging like that? Actually,
But now Dplus
so they're trying to blow teleports. Maybe just stop. I think they're looking just for teleports here. I don't think they're looking for the finish.
TP coming through.
Now Peanut will be here anyway. He has flash. I don't think you realistically want to tank this for forever.
We do have a flanking Jax coming
Just
in here now. Megan
just
already
take the
well.
teleports and leave.
He's already hitting pretty hard. Doran is very far behind.
Yeah, you take the teleports and you leave.
As have they spotted him? Looks like they have. They're trying to cut off. both
Okay,
angles
so Doran's now
of the escape.
caught.
And Doran, it looks like, oh, okay, maybe an execute.
Oh, almost.
Not able to take the gate. No, not able to take the gate. He's trying to get
Okay.
now.
He actually almost gets. I mean,
That's gonna be 400.
how does Doran get caught out there though?
Trying to cut off the line.
Wait, where does he initially teleport into?
Caught out. We do
So he goes over by the hex gates.
Jax coming in here now.
He can maybe go in. He can maybe ward hop over.
Is very far behind.
Maybe he could have ward hopped over this way instead and tried to run through. So he could have gone, if you look on the minimap, could have gone here and then maybe out through the double turrets, maybe. Yeah. Well, he doesn't know where enemy vision is, so that's a shame for him because his teleport's now down and he dies for free.
And Doran looks like, oh, okay, maybe
That's a shame.
not able to take the gate. No.
Yeah, it was a good knock you for sure, but.
And down he goes. That's gonna be 400 gold for aiming.
Yeah, if he had been unseen there, it's pretty easy for him to get out. Maybe even looking to make a play there. The big one, that second hit was so huge that was the end of the Baron. So unfortunately, Doran's attempt to try to flank there to deny it. So, yeah. Well,
But like King should never walk up here without his damage in place.
he was there because he had shook him when he got
Mini Nara is a champion that cannot, like he cannot survive on his own. He is a very squishy champion.
baseball comes out. And then we do kind of stand in a little bit. No, we Viper a little bit up here.
Then Viper just dashes one too many times too far forward.
Gaining up. We do have Showmaker in a very unhappy spot. Nice shot.
Okay.
We're a little bit up here. Lucid
What happens in life? So he walks up towards this bush.
HLE just can't be happy with objectives alone.
He has no flash. He has no defense of anything actually.
Gaming. We do have
Corki has his burst items now. Even with a shockwave, it doesn't matter.
but he's dead. That's a shutdown now for the Corki, and his Corki timer's getting shorter.
So what? You get top lane out of turret for this, but you lose mid lane inner.
Able to get a turret for
Zaka gets solo gold on that, which is good
rare, but he was protected.
because that gets him close towards third item. It's a good lobby for
Onto Doran.
It's a good draft for Corki to do a lot of damage with ults.
Into this opportunity, and that's going to be a big spike for Varus here on third item, where he can actually match some of the poke Corki. I mentioned it earlier in the draft, where the Varus is never really going to be equivalent to Corki when it comes to the late game, but can often be more valuable if you have really.
And we speed up again. So good vision control from Damon, but they don't have teleports now. At least they denied the Jax teleport to stop HLE doing shenanigans with Jax split push.
And that's a shutdown that goes straight to Zeka, who's getting closer and closer to that third item. We're all
They're having both their teleports down is kind of annoying. It's gonna be up for the dragon, but
I feel like almost we want to get that on so we can
yeah.
back to level parity. Doran,
oh, you mean the actual secure
actual kill.
Yeah. I feel like teams are a little bit like laissez-faire with it since the global buff.
Because Showmaker died, it kind of delays him pushing out topside as well and being able to maintain vision on topside vision.
And King will have to work for it himself. And I do think that though that side lane can be on a bit of a timer, especially if Doran.
King started played well for like two games and then you just started ending randomly. Yeah. Well, that was Zeka too, right? Zeka and Kingham were both only good for a single patch of League of Legends, really, which was 22 worlds.
So difficult to always map control. Still away from that, as Dplus moving around this Baron right now, trying to
Which is why Worlds has always got asterisks on it for Worlds winners. The winner of Worlds is not always the best team in a year. You know, last year, JDG were actually the best team of last year overall. But people won't remember that because they didn't win Worlds.
There needs to be a response.
I don't know if they're going to be able to get
Right.
this pit though. It's already quite low. The
So you have big items coming in from Corki now. Really good Maokai ult. And Peanut's wait, so Peanut smites this anyway. Is this a comboed up smite between the rocket and oh, hang on. What happens here? How close does this get? How close does this get? Ooh, Lucid doesn't smite, Peanut does. So the rocket hits at the same time the smite does. So Peanut and Zeka basically have an extended smite there. Was that a big one? No, it wasn't even a big one. Wow. Oh, for sure. No, I mean, in terms of like the best team of the year thing, you know, I mentioned last year because it's the most recent. But yeah, DRX are by far the worst team to win Worlds. Like, in comparison to the rest of the year. God, they were really not good. There's a reason it's such a miracle story, right? DRX were not a good team, like outside of that World Championship. Yeah, and I think EDG were a real weird one, right? Because they were very versatile, which meant that they could adapt to that world. But even then, outside the rest of that year, yes, you're right. They were also not the best team across the rest of that year. You're right. Oh god. Samsung White were not the best team of 2014 as well. Samsung Blue actually were.
He's pretty strong. I don't know if he can 1v3 though. He is in a 280 carry.
Hey, Finn, how's it going? Okay, Doran is tanky as heck now, and he has a stopwatch because he has the Seeker's Arm Guards. But I mean, like, look at this now. I mean, you've given up the Baron buff. I mean, now things are just falling apart. That was such a... I don't really know what Damwon were thinking there. The thing is, like, the team composition has been really annoying around objectives. The Maokai ult was so insane around that Baron. Because it means that, again, you can't actually reach the right targets that you want to. This game hasn't played out in the way that I thought it would. I think that Dplus haven't given, you know, like, the cleanest team fights where, you know, they're ulting in and then Hanwha just, like, separate out their team with their own ults. It's not been completely like that. But you can see the problems that the Renata Maokai have. That they give the Vi. This Vi first pick is just not it for me. This is not it. And now you have the Maokai ult, which can kind of work under turret as well. You can work up with the big ults from Corki. Like, watch out for the next big ones. Yeah, they'll really start hurting. Wasn't Samsung White notorious for trolling games? They were a team with a lot of egos, and they would often kind of like lose focus, but I wouldn't say they trolled games. They were also very bad in late game, by the way. They would often lose late game because they were not very good shot callers late game. They were very good early game, but they're not very good. Their early game was absolutely insane, but their late game was not great. That's how Samsung Blue would end up beating them. They'd end up like hemming them in early, then they just beat them with superior mid to late game shot calling. But Samsung White were one of the greatest early game teams of all time. Yeah, so this game is now over because you can't ever engage past the front line of HLE. You can never get the carries. Your Vi is completely neutered, and you have the item power spike on Corki. Don't Dplus play kind of well, but handicap themselves in draft. So from the games that we saw yesterday, so we reviewed the Dplus Gen G games. They actually had some very good drafts, and but then I think that there was a lot of stuff which went on there. I think that they had some drafts which needed flanks, but Gen G are very, very good at countering flanks. I think in this game 1 of this series, I think we could see that once again, Kingan really struggled to get the best flank angles for his team. And once again, even in this game, I think that King has really struggled to have good value. And in this one, this one's an outdraft. Yeah, this is a very hard draft to play. You can see even with the early game advantage, they couldn't pull off their composition versus HLEs. It's very, very hard to get to the carry through Renata and Maokai. They're just too disruptive. Definitely don't think Dplus capped themselves and drafted more than any other LCK team. I mean, I don't think it's... I think there are definitely some drafts I've looked at and said, this is very hard. But then again, you know, it's... Pro League of Legends is not all about draft. It's a decent amount of bad draft, don't get me wrong. But, I think, you know, the good play can overcome a bad draft in a lot of situations. Not all the time. And when you're against a team of equal skill, then often draft can be a big moment, big difference maker. Let me add him. Thanks for the follow. I appreciate it. Who should we let you at? Who has angered you? Who's drawn your wrath? Okay, so let's speed this back up again, because now you have gold advantage for a team which is in a better situation with the draft anyway. Huge item power spikes. If you catch someone out of position with big ults into a shockwave or something like that, that's still fine. So if you have good enough vision control, that's one thing, but look at the amount of wards you have on the bot side of the map from HLE, just everywhere actually. It's going to be pretty hard for Damwon to actually get their vision in the right place. Okay. Luce has gone for Aftershock. I should have noticed that earlier actually. His Aftershock is now down though, but like, how do you play this? Again, like as soon as... Like, this is exactly what I'm talking about. If there's one thing to take away from how this draft should play out, watch how this works. So King is teleporting in, but like, as soon as this Renata ult comes through and this Maokai ult comes through, what do you do? I mean, this is a large part of your damage, which can't contribute to the combo. M is going to have to blow Cleanse, and even if he blows Cleanse, he needs to get hit by both of these skills first, by the way. Because if he cleanses too early, then he's going to get hit by the Maokai ult. He'll have some tenacity afterwards, but it's not going to be the worst thing ever. Doran's about to come in with Teleport 2. But look how far deep, how deep you go as the Vi, but then compared to the rest of your team. Because your team is backing off, you end up finding yourself very isolated. So the Vi gets to do nothing. This is a first pick Vi. So if there's one thing you should take away from this, is that first pick Vi is an absolute sin. You cannot first pick this champion. You cannot first pick this champion if teams have their heads on straight. It is a very easily punished champion, even with great combos. Very disrespectful first pick Vi. Okay, there you go, 2-0. What would I have rather seen? I mean, any of the bot lane picks they had were fine. I think that if they want to play... I mean, let's have a look back to that draft then, shall we?
But I will say, Hanwha Life had a great draft. Viper, I mean, he really mitigated. You pointed out... is selected.
So this is what we had here, right? So first... I mean, you can go for the Varus first pick. Varus or Kalista first pick are completely fine. I mean, I have no idea why you let through the Corki Kalista. And then the Maokai on 3 as well. But, like, how does Vi deal with this? And as we saw that, was just not... It's not good. It's not good, folks.